being goddess state is always within reach. It's a state of activating the next version of you that's always wanting to show up. It's pivoting out of the imposter syndrome, head on, eyes open, even within the darkness of this major uprising. Welcome to the Rise of the Goddess Collective. I am your host, Michelle Julian, your goddess guide. Welcome to the Rise of the Goddess Collective podcast. I am your host, Michelle Julian, and I am here with Dana Lynne Bai. She is a witch, a healer, an intuitive empath, and a creatrix. She has been on this path for 30 years, which is why they call her the Crone. And during that time, she has woven through many different experiences. This is Dana saying, I have dabbled in the darkness, played with the fairies, soared with the angels, basked naked in moon goddess's light, and danced with the forest god. Wow, I guess I really attracted you here at the Rise of the Goddess Collective. You're all the things that I aspire to be. So she considers herself an eclectic, practical witch. I love that word, eclectic. And I love the word practical because when you use both of those things, it really helps you be more human, right? Mm-hmm. You're not putting yourself in a box. You're not trying to be a witch. You are a witch. You are, as I would say, you are the oracle. You are your inner wisdom, and sometimes we get lost. And she has found over the years that it's better to create magic with what you have than to try to make it perfect. So, her focus in her mind's eye is her intention overrides technique every time. I love that because man, oh man, I am not technique or technical at all. I am a gypsy. I am a unicorn, right? I am all those things, and trying to hone in a unicorn gypsy, it's tough. It's really tough. But when you have people like you that I'm immediately attracted, I'm like, oh, I know I can learn from her. Oh, I know this is somebody I want to connect with and network with. Maybe if we like each other enough, we might even collaborate. So Dana believes that to live your most authentic life, you need to incorporate your magic into your daily routines. Everything from your morning coffee to your bedtime routine and everything in between can be infused with magic. I 100% agree on that, because when we do that, when we really hone in and fine tune that devotion of our soul care, that's where the magic happens. I know myself as a healer, because you're a healer too, that for me, I've always been teaching self-care, pain management, healthy mindset, meditation, yoga, and all those really important things for the physical body and the mind body. But what I didn't even realize I wasn't sharing, and it wasn't on purpose, that I can teach you how to take care of your soul. And
Right.
this is a huge component, I think, right now during 2021. People really need healers that can really help them in all of the areas besides their mind and their body, but spiritually and emotionally, and really find a way that it's sustainable, because we
Yes.
can't do all the things as we've learned from the pandemic. We need to slow down and do
Yep.
less because less is more. And so I want you to kind of share with us how you have kind of stretched yourself and strengthened your own intuition with running your own online business, as well as if you want to share how you've also integrated it into your personal development and journey.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting kind of I guess journey for me the past couple of years. I I'm a teacher by trade, and for the past almost, let's see, almost 8 years, I owned a childcare center. I owned a couple of childcare centers actually, and I just closed one, the last one, to focus on this full time. But I went kind of from, not necessarily hiding myself, and hiding who I was as a witch. I never really like hid it, but I never put it out there either. And a couple of years ago, I just decided, you know what? I don't understand why I'm keeping this a secret. It's like, 2019, I mean, it was 2019 at the time. It's like, it's not like we're living in the dark ages. It's like, you know, like, um, and I think I kind of, like I went over your kind of goddess initiative kind of thing too. And I was like, when you're talking about the 3 stages, and I'm like, I am in that stage where I don't really, not that I don't care what people think, but I'm not gonna limit myself because of what other people think, right? I'm not going to put myself in a box because other people might be like, you're a
Mhm.
witch? Like, what does that mean? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I definitely got some of that when I put it out. But I mean, I came out of the broom closet per se, um, like in 2019. And I
Love
started
that. I
thinking
love
about,
that.
yeah, I started thinking like what can I do? Like what can I do to, because I've always been a teacher and I've always been a kind of a healer. I've always been that, maybe not officially a healer, but so I started looking at other things I could do, and I found, um I kind of found the coaching idea. And I was like, well, I love that because, I'm constantly giving people advice, whether they like it or not. And I was like, well, maybe I could just do that for a living. How awesome would that be? So, I kind of looked into that for a little while, and I started, when I first started doing that, I was like limiting myself. I was just being like, oh, well, I will just be like a holistic coach and talk about, different kinds of things, and like be, very, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone because I don't want anybody to think that this is not relative, or, important. But like I was trying to limit myself, keeping myself down again. You know what I mean? Not letting myself be really fully out there. And finally, one day, my business coach, we were working on like our elevator pitch, that whole concept of an elevator pitch. And I was like, I help women, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, she goes, that's good, but that's really boring. And I know that's not who you are. And I'm like, okay. So she goes, go work on it and come back, bring me something else. And I'm like, okay. So I go back and I bring her this thing, and I'm like, I help women find their inner goddess and bring out their inner witch and celebrate the goddess or something like that. Like, I mean, I can't remember the exact words for it right now, but when I sent it to her in the group, she was like, she wrote back like all in capital letters, "Oh my God, that's it." And, I was like, I never really thought about it that way. I never really thought about it like, okay, well, yeah, can I say this? And then like, so where do I go with that? Right? Where do I take that? So then I just started looking at what can I do with that? And that's how I came up with the idea that I have, that the program that I'm working right now, which is basically a witch school. And that's what I do. And I do a lot of coaching and different readings for people and that kind of stuff. But my main focus right now is the academy that we have. And I actually have a couple of partners that I do it with, and it's great. I love it so much. It's like my favorite thing. So did I answer the question?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You did.
Sometimes I'll go off on a tangent.
You answered 2 questions without me even asking, which I love, because the first question was really how you're stretching and strengthening your own intuition, and you're also sharing with people that this is a journey. When you first start out with your own passion of your own wisdom, you don't have it all together in a written elevator pitch, because that's not what you are as a human being. You're not an elevator pitch.
No.
You are a human spirit having as a human experience and figuring out really how your passion and your mission is going to change lives. Because I know already, even though you have an amazing Instagram account and you have an amazing Facebook group and it's super branded and it's super shiny, the real you is not shiny at all. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that people really need to hear this journey and how it unfolds, because you're not coming out understanding your elevator pitch or understanding your niche. Like, even those words throw people like you and me like off the path. We're like, I just don't fit in this box. I guess maybe this isn't really not something I'm going to be able to even do online or even create a business offline with the way I want to share my message. And messaging is really an important thing for you as your personal life gets integrated into your business life, because I really feel like, for me, my personal and my business life kind of coexist because of what I do. And I think you probably can resonate with that, because you get to share your inner goddess, which is your witch knowledge. Because let's face it, witches are extremely knowledgeable. Yes, back in the day, they were not, respected. They were tortured. They were like, burn at the stake and all of that. But you know what? That's the old paradigm. We're in the new. Yeah. We're in this new paradigm right now, and it's accelerating. And you get to shine and share your goddess wisdom self, and you know how to be discerning. We talked about this kind of early as the warm-up conversation. How are you discerning with your personal life and your business experience? We would love to hear, because my audience are a lot of newbies just starting out creating their businesses and getting their message. And most of the goddesses that are in the goddess activation group are light workers. In a way,
Uh-huh.
they're here to help heal. And so I
Yes.
think the audience would love to hear, how are you discerning with your personal and business experience?
Well, again, I guess, like I go back to that whole idea that you have about, these three stages of life, right? And how when you get to, I mean, it's funny, like I kind of look at my life and go, God, if I only knew then what I know now, right? But then I might not know now what I know now if I knew it then. Like there's this whole kind of, catch 22 kind of thing. But I think over the years, especially the last few years, I've really just started to really just trust my own gut, my own intuition, and believe that, the information or the messages or whatever that's coming through are true, because I fully believe that the universe always has my back. The universe is always it's always working for my best interest, right? It's always working for all of our best interest. But I think that's kind of the thing it has been a switch for me, is to really trust what's coming through for me and not constantly question all the time. Like, is this really the truth? Is this really what's happening? And I know that's hard. I mean, even now, I still have that issue sometimes, where, my boyfriend and I might have an argument about something, or, not even an argument, just a little like, tiff or whatever. And I'll be like, is that really, like, what was that all about? And then you kind of get into that little like pattern of like, questioning yourself. And then there are times where I just have to go, stop, like, really, let's just listen. And like, do you really believe that? Because there's the whole idea of, your ego is always there to keep you safe. And by that, what I mean is not really safe, but it's there to keep you in line. Your ego's there to keep you in line, really. And it just wants you to just sit there and not do anything. Don't take any risks. Don't try anything new. Don't put yourself out there because you might get hurt. And so your ego is always kind of putting you in this place of like, like doubt and lack. And I mean, really, your ego's kind of an asshole. So, you have, I mean, I feel like there are times when I'm constantly fighting my own ego, like,
Right.
like, no, you're lying to me right now. You're not telling me the truth. And because you want me just to be in this place so I don't go out and put myself out there in the world to possibly get hurt. But if you're not putting yourself out there in the world, you're never going to grow. You're never going to learn. You're never going to change.
I totally resonate with that. Whenever I think of the ego, I think of this inner bully, this bully that says, this is a very good display of imposter in syndrome here. So why don't you just stick over there, Michelle, and stay in the self-care, massage, wellness area. This soul care thing, it's a little too high on your horse, if you ask me, right? So it's so wonderful for me to hear you, and I'm sure the audience are loving this, your take on fear and ego and true intuition. People online and Instagram and a lot of people are kind of using all of these words interchangeably, right? And I find that because we are using these words, they're getting diluted. And people are not seeing how they themselves can start to channel their own wisdom and their own intuition in manifesting, it is manifesting the things that they want to have in their lives or have in their businesses, because they're looking for that blueprint. They're looking for that template that we see so much online with the shiny object syndrome, the red rabbit hole. And we've had this conversation already. This is like, my mission is to have unconditioning here with
Right.
these conversations, so people that are truly wanting to tap in and tune in to their wisdom so they can have a soulful life, a more meaningful life, which then can out like kind of radiate out to potentially a business, if that's what
Right.
you want. Maybe
Right.
that's not what you maybe just listen to this podcast because you want to talk to some woo-woo girls, or listen to the
Yeah.
woo-woos over here,
Yeah.
um, and have a better understanding. What is a witch? What is intuition? What is listening to my gut? And how do I do that? And that's the real conversation that we're having. And the audience loves this kind of conversation because it's authentic. It's not just a bunch of terms and terms of words like intuition, manifestation, secret, all of that is fine, well and good, but what is the secret? What is beyond the secret? And that's where we are playing this playing field here in this interview. So what I want to ask you for your next, kind of your last question, what is happening right now in 2021 with your um, academy that you've created, and what you see that to be for 2021? Let's just like play out for the next month. Let's not talk about the whole 2021 because that's
Yeah.
too much. For a month, like, what are you seeing yourself do for this month coming into spring, working with the moon cycles? Because I know you do. You get
Mhm.
all the people around you channeling astrology and chakras and all of the things. What do you see for yourself, business or personally, for 2021?
Well, so for the business wise, I mean, I think, like I said earlier, I work with two other people that I have. So we're our focus is really just to grow the academy. So we're constantly putting new courses into it. We're constantly putting new information, whatever. I know we have a couple of courses coming up. I'm doing a course on working with children. I'm, like bringing children into your witchy practice, your lifestyle, whatever. I know one of Chanel, who's one of my partners, is working on a whole manifest your life course, just about manifesting your life. I actually am doing a course right now with some people in the group. I think there's 9 of them. I think that's it, because I think I capped it at 10. And we're doing Change Your Life Through the Fool's Journey. So through the major arcana. So we're using the major arcana as like a guide. And that's been really fun. So that'll actually go all the way through June. Get me through June.
Awesome. And how do people find out about this? Because I want to make sure I have all that information, the show notes, and just share it here with people listening.
So you can I just actually, it's funny, we've been open since Halloween of 2020. But I just kind of got our website up and running. So our website is Cosmic Magick, and Magic with a K, Magick academy.com. And on there, you will find information about the Academy. There's a link there to the Academy that you can go and look. You can take the courses individually, or you can join the Academy. So if you only want to take a tarot class, you can just take the tarot class. You don't have to join the whole Academy. We also have on the website, we're doing a book club in our group on Facebook, which is just Cosmic Magic with a K again. We have a book, we do a book, read a book every month. And we discuss it online, and I do live videos. We're also doing, we have a little shop where you could buy some merch, and we're also doing, I'm trying to think what was the other thing that's on there. There will be links to all of us, our own personal stuff, and what we're all doing personally as well. Because we do readings. I read the Akashic Records, which I love. It's one of my favorite things to do ever. It's like, I think one of the most in-depth, real things I've ever experienced in my life. It's the one thing, like when I read the Akashic Records, there's no doubt there, because I know it's not coming from within me, it's coming from without me, outside of me. So I know it's not something that my ego is going to get involved in. You know what I mean? Like the ego doesn't step into that.
Absolutely.
Because
that sounds really juicy. So I am so happy that you took the time with your busy schedule, because you are booming your business. I saw on Facebook that you just kind of like redid your whole website, and I'm going to put all that information in the show notes. And if people wanted just to kind of like message you, is that something that you're open to? Like,
oh, sure.
Right? Just kind of message her.
Yeah. You definitely, you can message me if you're on Facebook. You can message me individually. Yeah, definitely, or Instagram, whatever. I mean, I'm pretty much on all the platforms. So all the social media.
I mean, I think, what's the point of having a social media portal or platform if people can't reach out to you and have a conversation? Because if you're so, I feel like if you're so unavailable, or you're so like, big, like this big persona, then how do I know that you're real?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Not that I'm saying Oprah is not real, because she's really worked her craft to share that she's real. And what has been her mission? Her mission has been her passion, which is, I don't know everything. I want to learn stuff so I can be a good human being for the greater good, not for myself. And you know what? Yeah, I benefit. I've got lots of money now, and I've got these beautiful houses. But you know what? I didn't even do it for that reason. She truly is, to me, because I grew up with her. I'm watching her, and I watched her and the other guy that did relationships. What was his name? She interviewed him, and he ended up with his own show. Dr. O has his own show.
Yeah, Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Oh my God. Love Dr. Phil. And, all of these people that she interviewed that really took their wisdom to the next level ended up with shows. I mean, she could have just said, no, they can't have a show. It's going to be all about me.
Right.
Her ego could have totally taken over, but she didn't allow that to happen. Now, can I reach out to Oprah and have a one-on-one conversation? Probably not. But if I really, really wanted to, like if I took the extra effort, I bet I could get a hold of her. This is just my feeling.
Right.
It's like, it's one of my missions. I want to be interviewed by Oprah and Ellen DeGeneres. So just a FYI, just in case you have a connection.
Put that out to the universe.
Exactly. I actually would like to have a competition with Ellen on her show because I think I'm funnier than her. And with Oprah, I just want to be in that portal of Oprah.
Right.
Up with Oprah, and there was one thing that really stood out with me with Oprah was that, when somebody shows who they are, believe them the first time, because that's who they truly are.
Yep.
And I learned that energy not only from Oprah, but from my mother. My mother used to say that, oh, pay attention and believe that person said XYZ. And later on, if XYZ happens, believe
exactly. Yep.
that. With that being said, so thank you so much for joining here with the Rise of the Goddess Collective podcast. And I know everyone's going to really love this juicy conversation. And I hope that we get to connect and network in the next couple of weeks, because you've got lots of things that you're birthing, and I do too. And I know you said that I can share my information in your platform, and this is
absolutely
what goddesses do for each other. So
that's right.
Thank you so much, and
thank you.
Glorious Tuesday afternoon. Bye for now. Thank you for being here inside the Goddess Collective. I wanted to let you know that when you come to the collective, you are receiving free resources that help you with your self-awareness. I created free trainings for you. It's the Julian Method Goddess Activation Group. It's free, and it's a face group collective to help you get started with a new way of living. Follow along and witness the power of intentionally living with me and step in to the new realm of self-care for the activated goddess. They're bare bones, basic 101 goddess tips and tools. You'll get a 3-day consecutive boot camp. It's a taster of the Julian Method. I help you get started on your goddess practice. You'll find it at the JulianGoddessCoaching.com. And also, a real special treat, you can receive the Being and Becoming Goddess Oracle deck. Yes, I birthed this during the pandemic. Super juicy. You'll receive a published deck with a digital deck and also your own goddess activated meditation audio. Juicy goddess things are in store for you. I am so excited for you and this journey. Have a glorious day, and remember, your activation is my activation. Have a great day.